Guten Morgen. Die großen Themen der Klassik für den Weg zur Arbeit mit Axel Brüggemann.
Good morning and welcome to the podcast of Backstage Classical. Today, once again, in English language edition, because my guest is a very special one, the Chinese composer Tan Dun. Today he is being presented with the Beethoven Friendship Award by the Beethoven House in Bonn. The award refers to a friendship glass that Ludwig van Beethoven gave to his childhood friend from Bonn, Franz Gerhard Wegeler, in 1816, and which is on display in the permanent exhibition of the Beethoven House Museum. The prize consists of a replica of Beethoven's friendship glass as well, and, this is the special thing, of 12 rare wines from the cellars of the participating wineries. And, as we will hear in the following conversation, Tan Dun certainly knows his way around wine as well. But first, I want to ask him whether the story is true that in 1973, in the rice fields of Hunan province, he heard music by Beethoven on the radio for the first time in his life.
Yes, actually, I was studying the high school, and once I was in the rice field to learn how to plant the rice.
Right.
And suddenly, the loudspeaker started. He said, "Do you want to hear music by Beethoven?" Of course, you don't know who is Beethoven. Please listen to it now. That's what happened. So when I heard Beethoven, then they said, actually, Richard Nixon in China now.
Right.
Shaking hands with Mao. And of course, Philadelphia Orchestra also bought the Parsifal, the Beethoven Symphony number 6,
Yes.
and other Beethoven music. And I was completely surprised because that time I am practicing as a music shaman, only playing music for funeral and weddings of those shamanistic music. So when I heard Beethoven's music, suddenly I said, I want to be one of those kind of a music shaman talking to the world.
So do you think Beethoven is a music shaman as well?
Because shaman, to me, his music can link the past and the future. But Beethoven is the figure, and his music certainly made me to understand the past and the future.
Was that a cultural shock for you to listen to this kind of music for the first time, or was it something natural you felt?
Completely shocked, because in the 1960s and the 70s, during the Cultural Revolution, of course, Beethoven's name is very famous because his music was not allowed. But that made us more fascinated about what is kind of music we cannot listen to it.
Because it's so strong? Because it's so emotional? It's so dangerous?
Yeah, it's because of too much freedom, too much spirit. So, but of course, after 1973, when the Philadelphia Orchestra played the Beethoven, the Nixon in China, and of course, the whole thing changed because this fascinating music, this is beautiful music, this is such a spiritual approach to human souls.
It is so interesting because when you say, it has been forbidden, then it was imported, then you heard it, then it was a cultural revolution for you. And then we have this era as well. I mean, you played together with Lang, and so that European classical music within China became very popular as well, and
Extreme.
and it was kind of a symbol for what? For change as well, for a kind of bourgeoisie, or what was the success suddenly?
I think, first of all, Beethoven opened the door. When this door opened, it not just opened the music door, but it opened the spiritual door, and opened the conservatory university. And every single young man at that time, including me, it becomes so fascinating about freedom, about spiritual world, and about what is the real classical music could be. For example, to me, I spent since then, since I heard Philadelphia Orchestra play Beethoven, 20 years I spent in the conservatory for classical music. I think that's why many other Chinese young people did so. So that's why now China become one of the biggest stage for classical music.
Yes, it's interesting. But when you talk about the spiritual experience you had with Beethoven, what is so spiritual?
To me, spiritual means the nature, the philosophy, and the culture, and the personal spirit. When all those four coming together, the best expression, I thought, is always Beethoven. So, for example, when you hear Beethoven Alto Joy, if you hear the first phrase when Schiller wrote music by Beethoven, hey, drink, let's drink with fire, with the spirit of all men, all creatures, and nature. Oh my God, that's the first phrase when Otto Joy singing from Beethoven. And you feel immediately, my gosh, that's the statement
Taken
of
to
a
another
human
sphere.
being.
Yeah. Yeah. But this is interesting because right now we are living in a world where continents, nations, everybody seems to rebuild borders. And if you talk about spiritual experience of music, is that something perhaps you are standing for as well? You heard this Beethoven on the rice fields. You have all these Chinese influences in your music. You went to Europe. You are inspired by European music. You lived in the United States. You worked together with Philip Glass, with Cage, with Reich. So can one say that in your musical language, nations merge again to something what they have in common? Alle Menschen werden Brüder, all human beings become brother. Is that something our time perhaps has to learn again?
Yes, I think people has always forgotten today why the music was invented, why the nature is the music. All the color of nature, all the sound of nature, they are the arts. And what is the arts and the science? Arts and the science, that's the future of our lives. And the music was invented for the soul communication, spiritual communication, and peace making. We need to be always remembered music. The only purpose music was invented by God, by nature, is because it's a heart to heart, eye to eye for the peace. And the Beethoven, of course, since this time I feel so honored to receive first time for this Beethoven Prize for friendship across time. It's a great honor because I felt today we need to remembering how Beethoven talking to us by the purpose of the music. Let's make a friendship again. Let's make a peace again.
And peace and spirituality, and you said belief or God or whatever it is something we call love as well, isn't it? I mean, this is probably the hook we all have, and this is what was celebrated by Beethoven, and which doesn't know any borders and any nations, even though your music is very much inspired by different local aspects.
I think that my music is been so influenced by nature and all kind of a peaceful mind, peaceful sound. And Beethoven is one of them. Bach is one of them.
Definitely.
Bartok is one of them. And John Cage, Philip Glass, Steve Reich, and all those wonderful, wonderful composers.
Tandun,
you see?
Yeah.
Voila. And I am actually have to say here, I'm in the Beethoven house to be interviewed by you. And I feel so honored because surrounding me is the chi, is the energy, is the tai chi of Beethoven. And all of those energy goes to your spirit for the purpose of peace. And I feel so honored actually accept this.
This is interesting because when we started our little conversation, you said what gobsmacked you with Beethoven is that he tears down the feeling of times, or he connects the past with our time. And this is what you are doing in your music actually as well. I mean, you composed the Internet Symphony, the Eroica, you composed for YouTube Orchestra, you did a new opera for the Metropolitan Opera. Is time, like nations as well, something which is just relative, whether it is today, whether it was in Beethoven's time, whether it is in the future? Is it all in one? Is it all the same?
Excellent. I think we are in a boundless era, and there's no boundaries between us. Because in a digital time, AI time, cell phone time, smartphone time, and online time, you see, if you are saying, hey, I'm only eating sushi and sashimi, or if you say, no, I'm only eating spaghetti and fish chips, people feel very strange because our appetite for food, for arts, for language, for communications become so diverse, yet very much looking forward the characteristics and the tradition of the heritage. So to me, the diverse is because we respect the independency, individuals. So once again, what I learned from Beethoven is the whole world is one. Everybody is a brother.
And that space and time are always relative. And is that something you experienced in music, that you are free from all these boundaries? Is it easier for you to experience that in music than in real life?
Yes, I think music is the only language talking to all those people speak different language, came from a different tradition, and we are all come to this life. Life is like a train. This train running never had a beginning, never had an ending, just continuing. But the people coming and going, up and down. You see, the train still going. We are the passengers. Sometimes we come together. Sometimes you see beautiful friends left, and another one coming. Then maybe next one is you. time to get off. So you see,
And they can come back in memory.
It's beautiful to be together, to share a life together. That's why Beethoven saying, we are all brothers, and all creatures, all lives, all people in this life and the next life are brothers.
Let me come to the end with one last question. You mentioned it already in the Ninth Symphony. It starts with drink and become brother. And the award of the Beethoven Friendship Award, which is connected to wine as well. So does that help in real life as well? To have a sip of wine?
Actually, Beethoven 9 is very special to me because the 9 in Chinese, 9 is very, very important. 9 in Chinese, 9 means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. And meanwhile, the 9 is wine. 9.
I didn't know that.
And also 9, 9 is time and everlasting.
Okay, that makes sense. Now I understand the world.
That's why I wrote a 9, the choral concerto, 3 movements, which is 9, wine, and the time to have a dialogue with Beethoven.
Okay, now all the circles are closing there. I understand that. Dear Tan Dun, thank you very much for taking time for us. Enjoy your stay in Beethoven House in Bonn. Enjoy the energy you're feeling there. And we are very much looking forward to listening to your music. Thank you very much.
Dankeschön, Dankeschön.
Vielen herzlichen Dank, Tan Dun. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
This was Tan Dun on Backstage Classical. I hope you enjoyed our little show. For more information and news from the world of classical music, please visit us on www.backstageclassical.com. Subscribe to our newsletter or to our podcast. Und vor allen Dingen, haltet die Ohren steif.